So welcome to this first ever live stream yoga class, straight from my living room. I wonder how you're all doing with all this this change that's in the air at the moment. It's a really unique time at the moment. So I think it's really important to allow space around however we're feeling, whatever crazy thoughts are in our heads. We have a lot of time on our hands to sit with what is, even though there is a fair amount of DIY going on in the street and people finding walking paths that they never even knew existed. So, but it's also a time of change and strangeness, and our rhythms have been distorted, and we are quite rhythmic beings. So it's really important just to have this space to find time for your practice, your sadhana, so that you can connect back into yourself and find those reserves of steadiness and stillness. And in that way, when you're able to ground your nervous system, you're more likely to make better choices in your life. So we all need this regular top-ups of the goodness. So some of you I know, some of you I don't know, some of you are here in New Zealand, some of you are across the globe. Just be gentle with your body. If you haven't done much movement lately, tune in. This is a practice of what's coming up for you, or what's real for you in this moment right now. So if it's tight hamstrings, then just allow for that. If it's a really sore neck, then allow for that. And just go really gently. Just try not to push it. Try and feel your way rather than thinking, have I got it perfect? You know, it's not about perfection. It's about embodiment. So feel your body move. Make the movements quite subtle. It's not, as someone said, yoga shouldn't be like bad gymnastics, which I thought was really funny. So that's about all. It'd be handy during this practice to have maybe a cushion or something that you can prop yourself up with as we go along, or a blanket, something like that. But you may not need it. So this is going to be a really simple practice of just internal connection. Okay, so I'm just going to let in a couple more people and then we'll start. We're going to start seated today. Wow, goodness. Okay, 43 of us here today. Okay, everyone in now. Hi, everyone. Deirdre, Laura. If you could just make sure you're all muted and your videos are off, that's fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so let's sit. We're going to start with one arm, so bring your palms together at the heart and just feel the thumbs in contact with the sternum, the center of the chest. And as you rest the thumbs here on the center of the chest, lift the chest up into the thumbs and feel a subtle back bend, just a little heart opener, lifting up. And from this spacious place, feel the spine tall, crown of the head lifting towards the ceiling. With all this lift, let's not forget about the lower body and just allow this to ground into the earth. Sit bones, legs, ankles. Let yourself ground. Feel connected, feel supported. We're going to chant one round of Om. So taking a deep breath in. When you're ready, releasing the hands, gently opening the eyes. So we'll start with a practice of connection that is quite visceral, and it helps us connect to our breath too. So bring your hands into this mudra, thumbs out to the sides, fingertips pointing in, and then cross arms. Place your hands under your armpits, thumbs up, fingers tucked underneath, and just rest the arms on your chest, closing your eyes. If at any stage it's uncomfortable to close the eyes, then keep them partly closed. Just start to relax the shoulders. Start to relax your breathing. And notice, just let the palms rest on the chest. Let the natural rise and fall of the breath occur. And feel this. And just take a moment to notice the breath. It's all you need to do, just as it is. A sweet and simple practice. Allowing the lungs to expand and the lungs to relax, as well as the chest and the rib cage. Every time your mind wanders off and thoughts distract you, just come right back. Feel the body, feel the breath, and be within what's real for you in this moment. What do you notice? And then just slowly start to shift the awareness to the nostrils. And notice which nostril seems to be more open and which seems to be a little bit more restricted. And the more you practice this, the more you will notice the breath, the nostril flow is a lot more even every time. So let's just apply a little bit of pressure with the thumbs, just for 5 breaths, just a fraction of pressure against the chest. So you feel the thumbs lightly pressing in, and then taking 5 breaths. And with this pressure, and again, you can practice this one at home. You've got plenty of time now. As you apply a little bit of gentle pressure, the flow of breath should even up. Just take your time to have 5 breaths just for you and notice. And as you complete your last round of breath, know that you are already more centered, already shifted the energy into a more internal space, connection. Gently release the hands and the arms. When you're ready, opening the eyes. We're going to come down to the floor. So lying on your back, knees bent, feet on the floor for the flowing twist that many of us really enjoy in class. So you're going to have your feet nice and wide, hip width or wider, arms out to the sides, leaving space for your knees. This is your exhalation. So take a breath in and let the knees release to the right, turn the head to the left. As you exhale, come back, draw the navel to spine and press the lower back into the floor as you bring the knees back towards the ceiling, inhaling to the other side and turning the head the other way. Exhaling, a little bit of activation, navel to spine as you bring the feet back to the floor. Inhale, legs move to the other side. Feet, as you can see, soles of the feet just lift off the floor. So you're just essentially rolling the feet on the floor, rolling the sacrum, the buttocks on the floor, rolling side to side. Let's just do one more round. Inhaling, legs to the right. Wait for the exhale, draw the navel to spine, come on up. Inhale, other side. And exhale back. Feet on the floor, bring the feet slightly closer now, hip width apart, arms down alongside the body. We're going to bring in a little bit of sound now because it's very nourishing for the nervous system. Flowing bridge pose. As you breathe in, lift the pelvis and spine, lift the arms up and overhead, and feel that there's length through the spine, there's a little arch through the back, and the glutes are not super constricted. There's just a little squeeze going on. As you exhale, round your spine, come back to the floor. Notice how you're rounding, arms land, pelvis and spine lands. Let's do a few more. So inhale up, just get a feel of this first. Exhale down, connect into your body with breath, consciousness. Inhalation. Exhalation. We're going to bring in a little hum now. Hopefully I won't blast you with my microphone. We're going to inhale up and we're going to hum out as we release down in the same way. 2 more. And last one. And as you land, just let the body relax into the floor. As the body relaxes into the floor, now bend the knees into the chest, take hold of your shins and just rock side to side. If you're feeling a little bit more like, a bit more like you need a bit more movement, you can make this quite vigorous. Otherwise, you can make it quite subtle. Okay, beautiful. Let's just bring the left leg out along the floor, arms alongside the body, palms down. Raise the right leg up to the ceiling. Don't worry if the hamstrings are tight and your leg is kind of here, that's okay. 8 leg lifts. We're going to not touch the floor, so you don't need to go all the way down to the floor. Inhale here, exhale, lower leg just above the floor or part way. Inhale back up, exhale down. And you're maintaining this action. You're keeping it stable through the engagement of the core muscles. So lift the pelvic floor and feel that the navel is drawing to the spine. Lower back is really pressing into the floor. I can't remember how many I've done, so it's probably about 8. You feel the leg energize. Let's do a couple more just for good measure. And then you can just raise the left leg up, lower the right to the floor, and begin the other side. Inhale here, exhale to lower. Find what works for you. Range of motion, pace, all of that. Leg is lightly engaged to keep it lighter. Excellent. So whilst this looks quite dynamic, I can feel there's a lot of control going on inside my body. Okay, last one. Beautiful. Lower down. Relax both legs, shoulders, everything. Let it all release into the floor. And before we get too comfy, bring the knees back to bent, roll over to the side, and come on up. I'm going to come into child pose. I'm just going to see what I've written here, although we will flow in an organic way. So child pose, toes together and knees wide. Reach the arms out on the mat, stretch and lengthen the spine. Bring your forehead to the floor and just make a few movements. Rock side to side. I'm just lifting my head so that I don't squash my microphone. But you have your head on the floor. And just shifting the hips side to side. Movement, breath. And then just come to stillness. We're going to come over into a side bend, walk the arms over to whichever side you have more space. And then say, for example, my arms are over to the left. I'm going to bring my left arm, bend it, bring it back closer to the body, and then turn my head to the side. You will lower your head down to the floor if you can, or support the head. Breathe into the side body. One last breath. And then as you straighten the arm, walk the arms back, center, and beyond to the other side, to under the couch. Arms are straight, and then the arm that's closest to the shorter side of the body, the constricted side, bends hand to the floor and you turn the head. So nice deep breathing. And one last breath. And then slowly come back. Arms out in front. Come on up. Hands and knees. This is one of my favorite poses. Shakti cat. So you can get really creative. It's just nice big circles. And here's the cat. You can't see, he's out of range, but the cat's just arrived. Anyway, Shakti cat, shoulders, hips, pelvis. Take it back to child, take it forward, do whatever you feel. It's going to be nice for your spine. I'm just doing this a few more times. Make sure you're making lots of different movements here. It's almost like a confusion for your nervous system. So you unwind tension. Nervous system tends to get agitated when we stay in habitual patterns of restricted movements. And so this is really good for just feeling deliciously at ease in your body. Okay. Let's sit back in Vajrasana. And if your knees protest, then you can take a cushion and have it to sit on like this. Okay. So we're just going to do a little bit of neck rotation. So arms just alongside the body. Just bring your chin down towards your chest. And as you breathe in, chin moves to the right and up towards the ceiling. And over to the left and down. Keep going. A few more rounds. So you're going to do about a 4 one way and a 4 the other way, 4 rounds. Keep going. And so when you're ready, other way. Last one. And then as you come back to center, just relax the shoulders down, raise the arms in front, make fists with the hands, and you're just going to circle out the wrists. So because of the change in our routines, and I think for most of us, it's fair to say we're moving less, maybe to and from the fridge a little bit more, or the kettle, but moving less generally. So you might notice that there are, let's do a few circles the other way. You might notice that there are areas of your body that are tense or tight or not feeling so great that aren't normally like that. So just allow space. It's a very unique time. Be really kind to yourself. Okay. So release the hands. Come up onto your knees. Again, take support under the knees if you need to. We're going to inhale, lift the shoulders, clench the fists, and exhale, mouth. Release. Inhale and exhale. Let's do 3 more. Okay. So now into a lunge. So bring 1 foot forwards, knee above ankle. If your lower back feels tender, then you're not going to come super close to the mat, pelvis to the mat. You're going to stay a little bit higher. So whichever way you do it, you can either have your hands on your front thigh or you can have your fingertips on the floor. We're going to do little tiny pulses forwards and back. And again, just support your hands. It's good to have books or something you could put your hands on if you need. Little tiny pulses forward and back. A few more. Making sure you're still breathing, you're still connecting inwards. Make the movement slower if necessary. And then we're going to come into a twist. Okay, so you're going to bring your hand to the floor under your shoulder, or maybe even wider if you want a little bit more space in the twist. Lengthen the spine, keep your tailbone tucking down, and then rotate. Turn towards your front thigh. Raise the other arm up and lift up. Arm reaches up out of that shoulder, fingertips towards the ceiling. If you're quite wide, you can take it more into this type of arrangement, more like a chest opener, side bend, but make sure you're not pushing it beyond your natural flexibility in this moment. Nice deep breath. And then release the arm. Fingertips to the floor, stepping back, and other foot forwards. So knee above ankle. Good one for stretching and opening the hip flexors, which is what gets tight at times like this. Lots of sitting, so let's pulse. Keep the spine long. So try not to look down to see what your hips are doing, and then keep yourself in this rounded pose. Stay quite long in the body. Little pulsations. And then come into your twist. So just come up, hand to the side, under the shoulder or wider. Turn towards your front thigh. Lengthen the spine, tailbone down. Turn, rotate as though you're rotating the rib cage. Twisting from the navel, and then raise the arm. Maybe even go a little wider, but keep the knee above the ankle. Open up, or look to the side. Again, just tune in with your neck. Deep breathing. And then lower the arm. Excellent. So we're going to come into down dog. So let's step back. Those of you who might be new to yoga, down dog is an inversion. Very good for the brain. So let's invert. Okay, so step back like this, or find your way up however suits your body. Come into down dog. So I'm feeling today as though my hamstrings are quite tight, especially around the back of the knee, due to a bit of cycling lately and some quite powerful hill walking. And so I quite like to bend the knees. So bend the knees, engage the core, draw the navel to spine, lift your sit bones up. Notice how much space you can still get in your spine.
even if the knees are bent. So try not to bow the front waist like this, the rib cage. It's not a back bend. You want to keep that length through the spine and front ribs drawing slightly in. So again, this is a nice pose to be playful. So just to greet your body with a bit of bounce, a bit of groove, however you feel this morning. So I always feel like doing this, grooving my way into down dog. So find what you would like to do this morning. Maybe you'd like to do this. Maybe you'd like to do a few little teeny bounces, which are really good for the immune system. Maybe you'd like to just stay still. Whichever way, find your groove, press your fingertips down, and lift the weight out of your wrist joint. So again, minimal effort, just enjoyment of this movement, feeling embodied, feeling connected, and also letting the blood flow to the brain, which is very good for bringing more space, bringing a bit more peace and balance to the brain, to the mind. Okay, so steady now on your mat. Nice deep breath. And as you breathe out, you're going to step forward to the front of your mat. And don't worry if your step forward maybe with 3 or 4 steps, that's totally cool. Reach forward, let the head and neck release, let your jaw release. Fingertips can be on the floor as you just find your way into the pose. Again, you can bend the knees here if your hamstrings are tight, or your back. Don't try and create the perfect pose by keeping legs dead straight. So you're just folding forwards here, letting the head release, letting the neck release, and just take a few moments to nod the head and shake the head. Excellent. And then we're going to come into a little bit of a movement here. So you're just going to keep the legs engaged, come up halfway, inhale. Make sure you can still see me. Yeah. So inhale halfway up and arms reach wide, engage your core, and exhale, fold, wrap your arms around and let yourself release forwards. Let go of the elbows, shoulders, let yourself fold, take a deep breath. Breathing out. Come up again, inhale, arms reach wide. Remember which way you cross, because you're going to cross the other way. So cross the other way and fold. Deep breath. And then let's do one more each side. So coming up, engage the core, lengthen the spine, engage the arms, the legs, front thighs draw up, and then fold. Wrap around, take hold of your shoulder blades, feel the hug, feel that you are giving yourself a little bit of time to nurture. And then the last one coming up, wrapping and folding. And then release the arms wide, engage the tummy muscles and come all the way up. All the way up to standing, lower the arms down. I'm going to turn this way to face you. So, little back bend now. So I'm going to come into feet hip width apart, grounding into the feet. So really feel the soles of the feet in contact with the floor. Bring all your attention into the feeling of soles, even tips of the toes, heels, the lift of the arch, how it really feels to be here, connecting the feet to the floor in whichever way that you find yourself, whether you're outside maybe, whether you're standing on carpet, whether you're standing on a mat. Just feel the sensations in the feet. And then bring your fists to the sacrum, elbows draw back, softening the knees, and to a greater or lesser degree, just depending on what suits your body, allow yourself to come to this back bend. So you can see my knees are soft, fists are supporting pelvic neutrality so that I can open the chest and look up. Just taking a couple of breaths here. So you might be here, you might be here, you might be even here. It's all going to open the chest. So let's just come up and then come back in one more time. Soften the knees, bend back, open the chest. And then come back up and release the fists. So let's come into feet again, hips apart, cross the wrists in front of the pelvis. As you breathe in, you're going to reach the arms up and stretch and open the chest, spinning back. And as you exhale, you're going to just bring the arms back, wrists crossed in front of the groin.
Let's do this a couple more times. Inhale up, bending back, and exhale to lower. Inhale, and exhale. And we're going to bring in a forward bend. So inhale up, and then fold, arms sweep up behind you. Inhale it up, and exhale, cross in front of the groin. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Let's do two more. Inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation. Last one. Releasing the cross, interlacing the fingers, just like so. Feet can be together or slightly apart, entirely up to you. I'm going to take it into a balance. First, we're just going to get clear on what we're doing with the arms. So this is what it looks like. You're going to inhale, raise the arms, palms up, fingers are interlaced. When you come up to the heart, you're going to start to turn the hands. And then when you get to the throat, again, turn the hands until the palms are once again facing up, but the arms are externally rotated, pressing up. And then as you come back down, palms stay faced up. Then you turn at the throat. And then you turn at the heart and arms reach down. Okay, so let's just do this again. Inhale, palms up, lift up, heart, turn, palms face, and then press away, and we lift up. Okay, so we've got that right. And we lower back down. As we reach the throat, we turn, and the heart we turn, and then we lower down. So don't worry if you get lost along the way, just do your best. So now we're going to bring in the lift of the heels. Inhaling, arms rise, heels rise, heart, throat, and palms to the sky. Keep the heels high if you can. And then down we go. So lower the heels slowly, lower the arms, and land. Notice how much more focus you need because you're coordinating different parts of the body. Inhaling. Exhaling. Continue on. Inhale. And exhale. And we'll do one more. Inhalation. And let's hold. So let's stay here. See if we can hold. Squeezing the thigh muscles. Feeling the body in one tall straight line. Keep breathing. And then slowly lower your arms. Turn. Heels down. Releasing the interlace. And just take a moment to separate the feet. And ground once again. So for this next one, I'm going to move my mic because it's wood chop and I don't want to shout into your ears in the morning. So wood chop, as most of you know, it's a really good one for vocal release, for energy release. I'm sure a lot of us are holding stuff inside that we probably would prefer not to. So let's release, let's get some of this energy moving out through the sound, through the movement. So it's feet wide. If you have people sleeping at home, they won't be sleeping for long. We interlace the hands. I'll just show you this one. I'll move my microphone. We inhale. Inhaling up and exhale. Ha. Ha. Okay. So when chopping wood, you're going to chop it with a certain amount of authority and intention. So there's a bit of fire there. There's a bit of power. So let that come, let that flow, and don't be afraid to make sound. Okay, so let's do 8 rounds quite dynamically. Ha. 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 Coming up. down. Let's stay with the legs as they are. Make sure your knees are happy. Bring the hands behind you. Interlace the hands. We're going to stay in the feet with the feet wide. So hands are interlaced. Inhale, open the chest, draw the arms back. And exhale, start to bend the knees. Knees bend, but you're sitting back and you're starting to fold forwards. So forward bend, arms reach up and over. Let the head just hang. Taking 3 deep breaths. Inhale yourself back up. Straighten the legs. Release the arms. Inhale up. Palms touch and then come back down. Interlace the hands the other way, the fingers the other way. Shoulders draw back. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bend the knees, start to come forwards, fold. Three breaths. Inhale back up. Straighten the legs, raise the arms. Exhale, palms to the heart. Beautiful. So we'll just stay for one standing twist. So feet wide, toes turn out, arms release alongside the body. And we're just going to turn like so, let the arms sway, swing, completely relax the upper body. Just let the torso move, rib cage. Go gently or more dynamic, depending on what you need. Feel the energy flowing through the nadis, the channels, natural energy for the day. Keep following the line of vision around the room. Notice what you see. Okay, slow it down. Slow it down. Come back to stillness. I quite like to just stay eyes closed when I've done something like this type of movement, to just feel the energy, the tingling sensation, any other sensations that you might notice in your body. Another way to be present, to notice what's real for yourself in any given moment. And just going to gently open the eyes, come down to the floor, lying on the abdomen. So come to lie on your front. And we're going to do a few back bends. So just for those of you, I know some of you are in the UK. If you're in the UK, you probably don't want to do lots of dynamic back bends at night because it is the evening there. So just come into a really simple one. We're all going to start in Sphinx pose. So shoulders above elbows, forearms in line, hands in line. For those of you who are doing an evening practice, just stay here in Sphinx pose, gently extending the spine. If you prefer, you can come into crocodile like this. But try and make it quite mellow. Okay. For those of us in New Zealand or other places where we're starting our day, just feel that you are pressing the forearms into the floor, dragging the elbows sort of close towards or in the direction of your waist. So there's a feeling of movement. You're not actually moving, but the chest starts to draw forwards, the spine presses into the internal, inner body, and you get this feeling of quite strong engagement, quite deep within the body, like the internal muscles. And then make sure your legs are a little bit engaged too. And just tilt the chin slightly, taking a few deep breaths. One more. And then just slowly start to release down. Hands come under the shoulders. We're going to flow into cobra pose. So forehead on the mat. Again, tailbone tucks towards your heels. Pubic bone presses into the mat. Glutes slightly squeezed, not too much. Inhale, reach the head up, chest up, hands press into the floor, coming into cobra. Keep your elbows bent. Inhale, exhale, come back down. Inhaling up.
Exhaling down, take as much time as you need. Use your back muscles and feel the power, the strength of these muscles. Feel the heart and the chest expand. You really need this at the moment. You need to have open hearts, not closed down. Reach out to ourselves, reach out to others any way we can. Let's do one more. Inhale, come up and just hold. Doesn't matter how high up you are. Take 3 deep breaths. Draw the navel to spine and feel that this is about the upper, mid-upper back. Shoulders draw back, chest is broad, collarbones broad. Okay, let's come back down. Rest the forehead on the floor. Stretch the arms out in front. And just take a deep breath. And then we're going to bring the arms down alongside the body. Palms facing in, fingertips towards the toes. We're going to come up into Shalabhasana. So as you inhale, lift your head, chest, arms, legs, everything up. Reach up and stay just for a moment, just for a count. And then come down to the floor. Some of you might want to just come just above the floor and then come up again. Otherwise, relax on the floor in between. Then do 5, holding the last round. So this is number 3. 4. And last one. 5. Let's come up and hold. If you like, you might want to interlace the hands behind the back. Stretch the whole of the front body. Breathe. And then lower down. Fold the hands. Rest the forehead on the hands. Maybe turning the head to the side. And just pause. Just take a moment to relax the body into the floor. And then we're just going to come onto the back. So come to line your back. For a pose, reclining butterfly. So you're going to have the soles of your feet together. Everyone can do this one. And lying back, soles together, heels hug close to the groin. And if you want, you can have support under the thighs. It can be really helpful in this posture, especially if the hips are tight. So feel that you could relax here. Placing one palm belly, one palm on the heart, and just relax. And from here, you're just surrendering. You're just allowing yourself to be in a space of surrender, just letting the body, the joints, especially the hip joints, open up in their own time. Feeling the body supported, grounded, and actively placing the palms on these major centers to encourage and enhance well-being and ease within you. Breathe into the hands, relax the shoulders, relax the elbows. So feel free to stay here. I'm going to sit up and guide you through the next part of the class, but you guys are all going to stay lying on the floor, either in this pose or, excuse me, in Shavasana. And we'll all come to Shavasana in a few breaths anyway. So really important to nourish ourselves with conscious connection to our bodies, to our breath. So just allow your body to feel comfortable. If that means you need to adjust it, feel free. Shavasana or this pose, reclining butterfly.
spending some time with our breath, with our body, and with stillness. So just take a moment now to feel the whole of your body in this shape. Being aware of the touch of the feet, connection of the feet to the floor, perhaps noticing the heels, perhaps the outer edges of the feet. Feel a connection into the feet, sensations, both on the surface and also inside the feet in the tissues. And then however the legs are arranged, just bring your attention to sensations that you're experiencing in this moment. Legs, pressure against the floor. Sensations in the tissues. Anything else you notice. And gently bringing awareness up to the pelvis, buttocks, hips, this entire area. And noticing now the contact with the floor, any tension that you might be holding, any muscles that feel unnecessarily tight or engaged. Again, just connecting, just allowing, not judging, not thinking about anything, not being in a story about anything, but just being with what's happening right now. And releasing, if you can, any unnecessary tension. Let the hips, pelvis, whole area relax. Now bringing your attention up to the back. The whole of the back. Just be aware of the contact with the floor. That unique feeling of pressure against the floor. Notice what you notice. Notice the shoulder blades and the spine. And then bringing the attention now to the arms. Perhaps the hands are still resting on the abdomen and chest. Perhaps you've decided to release them alongside the body. Entirely up to you. However your arms are, just be aware of the arms now, bringing your attention to the arms. Letting them rest and fall gently into the floor. Your fingertips, the fingers, hands, relax. Noticing any sensations here, surface of the skin or deeper inside of the tissue. Bring your attention now to the whole of the front body, abdomen and chest. Be aware of the lower belly, the whole of the belly. Be aware of the rib cage. Be aware of the whole of the chest. And being aware of sensations internally around the organs, digestive system, lungs. Bringing awareness now up into the head, into the neck. Aware of the head resting on the floor, the neck relaxed, muscles relaxed. Bringing your attention to sensations, the face, facial muscles, perhaps the eyes, perhaps the mouth, perhaps the jaw. And then noticing as well any sensations inside the mouth, the brain. Take a moment now to notice your breathing. Let the body simply rest and bring your attention to the breath flowing in through the nostrils and flowing out of the nostrils. Fill the body with breath on the inhale as you count to 5. Pause just for a moment at the top of the inhalation, retaining the breath, and then breathe out for the count of 5. Pause for a moment as you hold out the breath and then breathe in 5. Pause again and then breathe out 5. And let's complete a few more rounds, counting in your mind to 5. Pausing at the top, counting out to 5, pausing again. Do you feel that you would like to hold also breath in and the breath out for 5? That's also an option. Just take care with any issues of blood pressure or dizziness, fatigue, anxiety. Keep it really simple if necessary. I'm going to do one last breath. And as you release this practice, if your palms are still on the belly and chest, just release them for a moment. Bring the palms together, lying down, rub the hands till you feel warmth, energy between your hands, and then bring this to your closed eyes. Just gently palm your closed eyes. And as you block out the light, open the eyes and look with intention into your hands and just notice. You'll see patterns, you'll see all sorts of things. So just be in that landscape of looking, noticing, whatever it is. And once that starts to fade, remove the hands, lower down. So thank you, all of you beautiful beings, for the practice today. It was so amazing to see so many of you jump online, and we're going to be doing this every single week for as long as necessary. There are also going to be classes on Sunday, relaxation, and then more classes during the week. So get in touch if you would like more yoga, let me know. And yeah, I'm going to flick the video on now so we can say hello to each other if we would like to. So get ready. If you're doing naked yoga, now's the time that you're going to be revealed. Thank you so much, all of you. Namaste.